What is going on, everyone? Luca Rosano here, back with another video. Today's video sponsor is Dave & Buster's. Go check out Dave & Buster's today for great games, great times at Dave & Buster's, a place where you can watch live sporting events or just have a good old time. Dave & Buster's, the proud sponsor of the Luca Rosano YouTube channel. The Brooklyn Nets are in shambles, and it's for that reason why I felt the need to make this video, as this is going to be a little bit of a fun, hypothetical video where we are going to speculate Kevin Durant being on the trade market and if the Toronto Raptors could get involved. I know Masai Ujiri is no stranger for making a big-time trade when you least expect it. I mean, he did trade for a superstar a couple years ago when no one saw it coming, sending away DeMar DeRozan for 1 year of Kawhi Leonard, and we know how that turned out for the Raptors. Now, why am I even making this video? Because there's a lot going on in Brooklyn, and it's for all the wrong reasons. I feel bad if you're a Nets fan out there. Who's to say this team had James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant all on the roster, and now 5 months later, all three could be gone? Harden's already gone, and Irving, it's looking likely that his days in Brooklyn are outnumbered. And this is coming from a report today from Christian Winfield saying that the Nets have granted Kyrie Irving permission to speak to other teams in order to arrange a potential sign and trade. Lakers are set to be interested, but the Nets aren't sold on a Westbrook trade. So things could get interesting because Kyrie Irving could hypothetically sign with the Lakers at the mid-level exception for $6 million. Could you imagine if Kyrie Irving literally goes to that level of him just wanting to join LeBron James, who, by the way, he didn't want to play with to see if he could do it on his own, rejoin LeBron James at $6 million just to leave Brooklyn? That would be crazy, but that is a possibility. All things considered, Kyrie is gone from Brooklyn. All of a sudden, you might have a disgruntled superstar in Kevin Durant, and according to Shams last week before the draft, he said sources, Kevin Durant is monitoring the Brooklyn Nets situation and considering options with his future. You might all of a sudden have Kevin Durant who's looking around saying, damn, so Harden's gone, Kyrie's gone, I only have Ben Simmons to play with. I want the hell out of here. And then that opens the door to maybe the Brooklyn Nets trying to trade Kevin Durant and then starting over with Ben Simmons just there. Cue the Raptors. Could the Toronto Raptors at that point get involved in a potential trade for Kevin Durant? Well, there's been a lot of chatter, a lot of speculation, and Sam Quinn actually ranked all 29 teams as possible destinations for Kevin Durant, and he put the Raptors at number 10, saying this, and I quote, Toronto loves nothing more than long, lanky wings. Durant is the best of them all. The Raptors already have one of the NBA's most imposing defense. Durant could solve their half-court offensive issues in a snap. The questions here are the same as they are for Cleveland. Does Durant want to go north of the border? And are the Raptors willing to sacrifice Scottie Barnes' whole career for a brief title window? Again, I think the answer is no, close quote. And then Bobby Marks had a podcast with Zach Lowe last week and said that maybe Masai called Sean Marks about Durant, and he mentioned Scottie Barnes' name and Fred VanVleet's name as a hypothetical trade package for Kevin Durant. So, would you be willing to part ways with Scottie Barnes for Kevin Durant? Because I think that is what it would take. There is no way the Brooklyn Nets would be interested in a trade with Toronto if Scottie Barnes isn't involved. My answer to that question is pretty simple. The answer is no. I am not trading away and sacrificing Scottie Barnes' whole career, all of his potential, for a brief stint with Kevin Durant. And you look at the circumstance this time around, the Raptors aren't desperate to win a championship. They've won a championship. And they got an unknown in Scottie Barnes where you don't know how good he can become. When the Raptors took a gamble the last time, they traded away DeRozan, who you knew what you were going to get from DeRozan. He had hit his ceiling with Toronto. He had many opportunities to prove himself in the playoffs and had multiple shortcomings, so you knew it was time to part ways with him. But for the Toronto Raptors to give up on Scottie Barnes this early and get desperate to bring in Kevin Durant who is coming off a pretty significant injury, I would not be willing to do that. And this is coming from a guy who loves KD. Right now, Kawhi Leonard, I would probably put him as my favorite player. Scottie Barnes is up there too, but Kevin Durant, he's another one of my favorite players. And if there's one player that I would love to see on the Toronto Raptors, with the exception of Kawhi Leonard because he was here already, it would be Kevin Durant as it pertains to superstars. Even more so than a Giannis or a Jokic or even a Luka. I would love to see Kevin Durant on the Raptors. And he said before that he wanted to play for the Raptors, and you see him in pictures with a Jays hat and all that good stuff. But this would not make sense. At this point in time, it would not be a smart idea. And for as much as I would love to see Kevin Durant suit up for the Raptors, and for as much as I think, yeah, Kevin Durant on the Raptors would change them into a title contender overnight, long term, it would not make sense, especially if you're parting ways with Scottie Barnes. I know it's a superstar-driven league. I know you need superstars to win, but you don't know how good Scottie Barnes can become. He's put on some muscle. He looks great in the offseason. We could see a totally new Scottie Barnes this season, and this kid can keep on getting better. But on the flip side, we know Masai Ujiri is no stranger from fleecing teams and getting good trades to go down. If the Raptors would be in a position where they were able to trade for Kevin Durant without surrendering Scottie Barnes, then that's something you strongly do. That is something that I do see going down. If there's a way where you can get Kevin Durant on the Raptors without giving Scottie Barnes up, you do it. What do I ultimately see happening? I don't think Kevin Durant will get traded, because there are mixed reports coming out that Kevin Durant would want to still stay, so who knows what the hell is going to happen. I do see Kyrie, though, not being on the Nets, especially with all the latest reports that have come out. But yeah, if a team did in fact trade for Kevin Durant, you better believe it would be one of the biggest trade packages probably in NBA history. I mean, it is KD, and right now he is still one of the best players in all of the NBA. But that's my take. What's your take? Would you be willing to give up Scottie Barnes for Kevin Durant? Would you be interested in the Raptors throwing the biggest package to try to go get Kevin Durant for a couple seasons to try to win another championship over the next couple of years? If there's somebody that you don't want to be right now, it is a Brooklyn Nets fan, because these guys had so many good players on their team, and now they have no idea what their team is going to look like come next season. So yeah, all of this is gravy. All of this is speculation. Stay tuned. The next couple of days could be wild. NBA free agency officially kicks off on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Most likely I'll have a live stream for that, and we'll see what the Raptors do. We'll see what the Nets do. So you definitely want to keep it locked and loaded on this channel for all that good stuff. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, plus ring the bell. This is Luca Rosano on the mic signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.